Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. The player on this occasion in the KV-2, the Tier 6 Soviet heavy tank, is Koblackovik, and he's actually got improved hardening, or rather just hardening rather, improved rammer, improved vents, and vent purge to increase his crew skills. Yes, we're trying a different way of actually starting the video up because people wanted to know the equipment, and it does display that at the start of the video, but we didn't always focus on it. But we will try and do it from now on, especially for Arty, to ensure that people can actually find out the equipment to use in various battles. Now the KV-2, they only made 210 of these. 110 of them in 1940 and 100 in 1941. They took KV-1s that were on the production line and only just being built, the Voronezh tank, the KV tank. That was the Soviet defense minister at the time. And a while later, old Papa Joe Stalin actually got rather jealous that his defense minister had a whole series of tanks named after him, so he actually insisted on certain tanks being known as IS tanks or JS tanks, because of course that was talking about Joseph Stalin. So the KV-2, it's a lot heavier than a standard KV-1. Standard KV-1 is, if I remember correctly, only around about 55 tons. I'll check that data. Yep, 55.8 tons, whereas KV-2 is 60.8, and that's all down to that huge turret and the howitzer. So he's derped his way into getting an AMD 178B, taking the guy out. It is a rather long reload. The standard reload for the KV-2 is 23.01 seconds. He's got 17.8. Now I would have thought that would have hit the Sturmil, but it didn't. It's a tier 7 game with tier 6 tanks in it, and he's got another target to his left. You want to watch out about that because that's an SU-100, and if he has got the 122mm gun, I don't think he has actually, then he would be a problem. Well, that did go through the engine deck of the VK-3001P, and he obviously felt that. We're coming up behind him, but he's actually been killed by our Skoda T45. Now they actually designed this tank mainly down to the fact that the Soviets had a lot of trouble in the Winter War, and they needed to get rid of the bunkers on the Mannerheim line. And so to do that, they needed a howitzer mounted on a heavy tank that could actually survive all the fire and could get close enough to the bunkers, and that's why they came across the KV-2. It's basically a howitzer. Lovely. It's a howitzer on a heavy tank. They did make other heavy tanks. Oh, and the Jackson goes down. And it's an Arty kill. Lovely. Now, yes, they did make other tanks with with howitzers on them. This is nothing new. Oh, this is dicey. He's right on the edge. But he does get it into the guy. But he's been forced to leave the top of the hill. And he gets down without any damage. Can you believe that? He did get some ramming damage at the end. But now he's going to take this guy out of the game. Wait for it. Get the rear, the engine deck. And he got him. Another one. So that's 2 kills. And some severe damage to some of the enemy. There's only 3 enemy tanks left. One of them is up ahead. It's a Type 58. Oh, he's gone. So what else can I tell you about the KV-2? Well, of course, this is the tank that the Racini Heroes Medal was won in. One of these held up an entire division of German tanks simply because he blocked the crossroads and there was no way they could get rid of him. The guns couldn't penetrate the armour.
That penned. Praise RNG.
In fact, they did penetrate the armour in the end. It just took a lot of tanks and a lot of anti-tank guns, pack guns, to do the job. And that's it. The game's over. They won. That was an excellent game by Koblackovik in the KV-2. Thanks for sending it in. It was not only an ace tanker, but it was also his second mark of excellence in that game. He got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle. And of course, he got the high caliber because he was derping everyone he could get his hands onto. And yes, 8,735 was the win rate. That's very high. And of course, we now know from the Guess the Win 8 that he appeared in, the Steve Walsh video. If you haven't seen it, by all means, please do, because he plays the Tiger 1 exceptionally well, actually blocking one of the passes down the south end of Fjords. And he did get a Pools medal out of it. Well, I am, of course, giving that away. But the fact is that even Steve Walsh got it wrong. He underestimated Koblackovik's win rate and, of course, his skill level. He is exceptionally good. And this battle is more like what you could expect from Koblackovik. Very, very impressive indeed. Very good fun tank to play as well. And of course, we always consider it at What Arty Noobs as horizontal Arty, because basically it is an Arty howitzer in a tank, the M10 howitzer. Considering they only made a few of these, it's honorary Arty, you might say. It's a 152mm howitzer, and of course it was capable of blowing the bunkers apart. When you put that much high explosive right next door to a bunker, yes, it does tend to do the job. Anyway, let's have a look at the team score. Well, there you go. The highest damage was 3,775. The second highest damage was the AMD 178B on his team. We got 2,071, and that guy got a tank sniper as well. And the third highest damage in the game actually goes to the Type 58 on the enemy team, who got 1,288. When it came to kills, we can see the high scorers were the AMX13F3AM on our team and the Skoda T45. Both got 3 kills. 2 kills went to Koblackovik and the AMD 178B, and nobody on the enemy team managed to get more than 1 kill. In fact, only 3 players on the enemy team actually managed to get kills, and 2 of those were Tigers and 1 was the Type 58. And when it came to base XP, he got that one as well. So he got the highest damage, highest base XP, just missed out on the number of kills. 1,337 went to Koblackovik. The second was the AMD 178B getting 1,064. They were the only 2 players to make it over 1,000 base. And the AMX 13F3, the Arty, got 953. And of course, he managed to get that nice kill steal out of the Jackson. Very well done. Let's have a look at detail. 8 shots fired, only 8, but he got 6 direct hits and 5 penetrations and 1 splash. Damage of 3,775, all of it at close range. 2 hits received from the enemy. 1 was penetration, 1 was a non-penetration. And he spotted 1 enemy vehicle, damaged 5 the enemy, killed 2, and did 227 hit points as spotting assist. On a premium count, he actually made 25,313 credits profit from that game, and he got 10,029 experience points out of it as well, because he got a mission completion for 8,024. Always nice to see the KV-2 being treated as a mobile Arty, running around the battlefield, derping everything in sight. It's always nice to see the HE having an effect as well, because ever since Wargaming has tried to make the HE or nerf the HE to make it more difficult to actually get a serious result, it's just been terrible, the effect it had on the KV-2, which relied on HE in order to have the special effect that it did, that it would literally blow vehicles apart with 1 round. But yes, this was a good one. So well done to Koblackovik. Hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like, and thank you for watching.